and that is an undefined slope. Let me just put some numbers on here. Let's say this is a 5 and this is a 4. What is the equation of the, what color is that? Purple? Okay, let's go with purple. What is the equation of the purple line?
Y equals 5.
What?
Y equals 5.
Okay, y equals 5. Are you sure? You sure? Now, if somebody said 5, I thought I heard somebody say 5. And if you just say 5, you're wrong. Y equals 5. How about the yellow line?
X equals 4.
What's the equation? What's the slope of the yellow line?
Undefined.
Are you sure? Yeah. Okay. Let's do one more with perpendicular, the whole 9 yards, and then we're going into 2.3 and finding equations of a line. So in 2.2, how about this one here, number 58 on page 113. Line 1 is 3, 5, and I will ask you in a second. Let's do this problem first, if you had any homework questions. Line 2 is 2, 4, and 0, 4. So find the slopes first, and then we'll compare and see what happens. Just to remind you, the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And if you're not sure which one is what, I highly recommend that you label them. x1, y1, x2, y2. Who's not here today? I'm about to find out. Line 1, do we have a slope?
0 over -1.
What is that?
0.
5, oops, not a good color for you guys to see, even so I like it. 5 minus 5, right? Over 2 minus 3, which is 0 over -1, which is 0. And this slope is what?
0.
4 minus 4 over 0 minus 2, which is 0 over -2. That's even beside the point. The answer is 0. So now if we compare both slopes, well, yeah, I'm waiting for you to say that. These lines are parallel because the slope is the same. Now, that wasn't in the book, that wasn't the question, but what's the equation for the first line?
Y equals 5.
Y equals 5. Remember, a 0 slope is a horizontal line, and a horizontal line has the equation y equals. Look at the points. They got to be the same, right? What's the equation for the second? Y equals 4. Yes, these are good questions. You never know when you see them again. And if I ask you, y equals 6, what is the slope? What do you tell me?
0. Don't say 6. The slope is 0. Y equals 6. Let's say here's 6. Yellow line looks like so. Okay, cool. So this was 2.2. Did anybody have a homework question you want me to go over?
Number 7 for 2.2.
Number 7 in 2.2. Number 7, you have a house there. A 20-foot ladder is leaning against the house as shown in the diagram. Why does it say 24 feet? Oh, because, yeah, okay. So here is our ladder, and there is our house. Beautiful home here, windows.
How long does it say the ladder?
The ladder itself is 25 feet, but we don't really need that. We have 24 feet here, and we have 7 feet here. And the question is, find the slope of the ladder. The slope, M equals rise over run, or change in Y. Change in, if no more room. Change in Y divided by change in X. Y is the vertical, X is the horizontal. So what is my change in Y in this problem? 24 over 7. That's it, 24 over 7. That's all you have to do. And this ladder, of course, is a positive slope. Any other question? Anything else? No?
I have questions in 2.3, but you said
We're gonna go over this, yeah. Okay, let's go to 2.3 then. Now 2.3 is all about the equation of a line. So I gotta fast forward here because whatever, I have 2.4 first. I don't remember why, but here we go. 2.3 is the equation of a line, and the equation of a line, the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So whatever we're doing in 2.3, we're trying to find the equation, for most of the part, we're trying to find the equation of the line, but also we're going to graph our third method, and that's my favorite, using the slope and whatever else we need. And what else is going on in 2.3? Finding the slope and the y-intercept. Yeah. Okay. So y equals mx plus b. Have you seen this before? And if not, you see it now. That is the equation of our line. We have an m here, and we have a b, and we have a y, and an x. What does the m stand for? The slope. What does the b stand for? That would be the y-intercept. The reason you think y-intercept, oh, I already was 2 before my question came to mind. If we're looking for the y-intercept, x has to be 0, and then b. And you probably ask, why is that not called y? It's a y-intercept. Well, we already have a y in the formula, and this y in our formula belongs to the x, and that is our ordered pair. So the y and the x in our formula represents our ordered pair, otherwise we can't graph it. We have the slope and we have the y-intercept, which is always it's called a constant. A constant does not have a variable. Constant number. Y equals mx plus b, and don't you forget it. You won't, at least not today. So, if you have this equation y equals 7x minus 5. 20 questions like this on the next test. No. Y equals 7x minus 5, and you have to find the slope. What is the slope? Good point, but you are wrong. Thank you for saying that, and I see that all the time. The slope is just the number, not the variable, because the variable is called a variable. It's changing. The slope is 7. M, that's why I put the equation right above. M is the 7. X is one of our x coordinates from our ordered pair. What is the y-intercept here?
0.
Thank you, Ashley. I heard you say it's 0, -5. A y-intercept is a point. And as such, you want to label it as a point. I understand what you mean when you say -5. Some instructors take points off for that. I don't. And it also depends on the book. This book here writes it as a point. Some books say -5. So, but I prefer to write it as a point. Okay, how about this next one? Y equals -3/4 x plus 1. What is the slope? -3/4. Make sure that you carry the sign with you. And what's the y-intercept? 0, 1. Is everybody with me? These are problems out of the homework, where the first couple of questions, they're asking you to determine the slope and the y-intercept. Now, these two examples that I showed you so far, they are in the form y equals mx plus b. So there is not really any math involved. You have to know what you're looking at, right? The first one, the number in front of the x, called the coefficient, is the slope, and the last one is the y-intercept. Now, how about if it is not in the form y equals mx plus b? Like this example is 3x plus 4y equals 12. And you still have the same question, find the slope and the y-intercept. Now don't say the slope is 3, because I just said, well, whatever number's in front of the x is the slope, right? But that only works if it is in the form y equals mx plus b. So first, you have to rearrange it. That's why I wrote that down. You have to solve this equation for y first. So I'll give you a minute. Solve for y. Which means the term with the y we're going to touch last. What do we have to do first here? Subtract the 3x, and since we want to write it as mx plus b, I highly recommend that you write it like so, the x term first and then plus 12. -3x plus 12.
What if I subtracted the 4y and
So you subtracted the 4y and then you subtracted the 12
so I have 3x minus 12
equals -4y, right? Right. Yeah, that is double work, but hey, you can do that. But now you're dealing with a -4y, so now you got to divide by -4, and you forgot the negative. Yeah, so that's always just more ways to to make a mistake because you are using more steps. But it's not wrong. You can do that. But I just stick to the easiest I can find. Not always, but sometimes. Now we're going to divide by 4 and write it like so. Divide each one by 4, each term I mean. And you get y equals negative 3/4 x plus 3. You have an extra step in there, but it's okay. As long as you have the right signs. What is the slope? Negative 3/4, and the y-intercept is... other people give a chance. All I hear is you, Caden. What's the y-intercept? 0, 3. Thank you. Okay. So if it's not in the form y equals mx plus b, you have to do it. This is a problem. I thought there was a problem out of the book, or maybe it's just something I made up. 5x plus y equals 0. Find m and the y-intercept. Go for it. Find the slope and the y-intercept. There's a whole bunch of problems for you to do over the weekend. Find the equation of the line. We gotta solve for y. How? What do we do? Y equals negative 5x. Is everybody with me? I think we're going to switch sometimes. The people sit in the back, come in the front, and the people sit in the front, go to the back. You should do that. But you can stay there. Yeah. No, you can stay there because you have, yeah. You should do that. I've never done that before. Just thought about it. What's the slope? What? Yeah. You are right. I heard what you said. It's going through the origin. That is correct. What is the y-intercept? 0, 0. That's also the x-intercept. So if you don't see a b here, if it helps you, you can put a plus 0 in there. So if you don't see a b, what? Yes, Hayden, you are correct.
I have a question about it. Because I get that it's negative 5 after you rewrite the problem for the slope, but I thought it was positive 5 because of the original equation.
No. If it's not in the form y equals mx plus b, and this equation is not in the form, you have to rearrange it first. You cannot look at the number in front of the x first. You have to solve for y first. Yeah, so keep that in mind. That is a good point and a common mistake.
So how would that be graphed then? Just
Okay, well, how would that be graphed then? So in 2.3, we have a different method. So let's just start with this problem. Okay. Let's take a look at y equals negative 5x, and we know that the slope is negative 5, and we also know that the y-intercept is 0, 0. So if we graph this using the new method that I'm about to show you, we're using the slope and the y-intercept. Now, remember, another definition for the slope is rise over run. If you only see a whole number here, I always write it over 1 because now you have your run. Okay, so now how do we graph that? The first step we do is we plot the y-intercept. Oops, I need to go higher here. We plot the y-intercept. Here's y, here's x, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, -5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, -5. Okay, let's see what happens. So we're gonna, the first step is plot y-intercept. In this case it's 0, 0. So here's our y-intercept. Everybody with me? Now we'll have a slope of -5 over 1. Now usually we equate rising with going up, but this one says -5. So instead of going up, where we're going? Down. 1, 2, 3. Oh, from where are we going down? From the y-intercept, in this case from the origin. Doesn't always is the case. So from the point that I plotted, I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. Down 5 units because it's a -5 over 1. You could have said a +5 over -1. I always make the numerator negative. Now we're running. The 1 is positive, so that means where we're running in the positive direction right here, and we end up with a second point, which is right there. So you use your rise. If your rise is positive, you go up. If your rise is negative, you go down. And then if your run is positive, you're running in the positive direction to the right. If your run is negative, you're running in the negative direction. And however many units, tick marks here, x increments, you have the 2 points. Now you can connect the dots. Now I don't have enough room. I could have gone up +5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there's not enough room. But if I go up +5, where do I have to run to? Negative direction. One of them has to be negative. I keep the numerator negative. Connect the dots.
If you weren't plotting from the point origin, would you have gone back -5 and then up 1?
No, whatever your y-intercept is, if you would have not plotted from here, from there, I still would have gone down 5 and over 1.
Okay.
Oh, wait, it's coming. Yep. This is not a good graph. Look how far I went over there. So, speaking of, there is another one I wanted to do. Graph using the slope and y-intercept. So, we have 2/3 x plus 2. You can always use a t-table if you want to. You can also find the x and y-intercept, but I find this method the easiest. So we want to graph 2/3 x plus 2. And we want to use the slope and the y-intercept. So what's the slope here? 2/3, and I always write rise over run. What is the y-intercept? 0, 2. So if we use this method instead of the other methods, we're plotting the y-intercept first. Now this time it's not the origin, it's 0, 2. So right here. So from 0, 2, now you use rise over run, and they're both positive. And I'm writing the positive here. You're using the slope to find the next point. You need to have 2 points. So from this green slope, and both are positive, meaning I have to go up and I have to go to the right. How many units from the green dot do I go up?
2.
1, 2, but don't stop here. That's not a point. That's just a little rest area. And now we're moving over how many units? 1, 2, 3, and we end up right here, and that would be our second point. We have gone up 2 and over 3. Right, Vince? Yeah. You like it? I do. Now, could I have gone down? I can always go down, but if I go down 2, I have to go left 3 to come up with another point. Because now what happened, I went -2 over -3, which is also a positive 2/3. But I like to go the positive way. Now we connect the dots. Beautiful. You don't need 3 points, but because I showed you how to go down, I had 3 points. This one looks good. How do you like that? Graph this one. Using the slope and the y-intercept. What do you have to do first here? You have to solve for y, because we don't know what the slope and the y-intercept is. It's not in the form y equals mx plus b. So first step is we're going to subtract the 6x. 3y equals -6x plus 12. And then the next step would be to do what? Divide everything by 3. Y equals -2x plus 4. What's the slope? 2 over 1, rise over run. What's the y-intercept? 0, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're plotting our point, which is 0, 4. That is right up here. Now what do I do? Go down 2 and to the right 1. And that would be my second point. Now, if this is not enough, you can keep going down 1, 2, and over 1, and you end up right here. You can keep going down to over 1 as long as you want to. -2 plus 1. -2 plus 1. We connect the lovely dots. And there you go. What do you say about that? Nothing. Okay, this is last one. No, let's do this one. y equals 1/4 x. I've seen that on tests before. What's the slope? What's the y-intercept? Yeah, that's what we started off with. Plot the point 0, 0. And then you do what? Go up 1 plus 1 and over plus 4 in the positive direction. And you end up right here. That would be your second point. Don't end up at the rest place here. This is just the point here to move to the left or to the right. There you go. Yes, Tyler.
Can I come up with a problem?
Yeah.
Can we do negative 3/4 x plus 4y equals 12?
Negative 3/4 x plus
4y
4y.
equals 12.
Was it in the book or on the quiz?
I just made it up. I wanted to see.
Oh, okay. Here you go. Help out your fellow classmate. What's the first step? What? What's the first step? We have to add 3/4 x. I like it. 4y equals 3/4 x plus 12. Ooh, fraction action. Yay. Now what? How do you get y by itself? Maybe I should use a red color now. We're dividing by 4. Everybody agrees? So that gives you y, and over here 12 over 4 is definitely 3. But what about 3/4 divided by 4? What is that? Okay, I heard Hayden say something. What did you say?
I'm gonna take a guess, and I said that it was 3x, maybe.
3x, okay. 4, you got 4? So, okay, sidebar. What are we doing? 3/4 divided by 4. Well, we're about to figure this out. Let me write it. Brian, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, like when you divide by a fraction, you multiply by the denominator.
You mean the reciprocal, right?
Basically.
Yeah, that's what you mean. Yeah. So we have 3/4. Let me write it out. Hold your thought. Let me just write this out, what this means. 3/4 divided by 4, right? Now Brian says, if you are dividing, you gotta multiply by the reciprocal of the second number. So let me write that as 4 over 1, just to show you. So this becomes 3/4 times what? 1/4. And now what? How do you multiply fractions? Straight across. Numerator times numerator is 3. Denominator times denominator is 16. There is nothing we can reduce, so Hayden was correct. That is 3/16 Whoa, I don't have, hold on. No, I gotta let's make them a little smaller so maybe cannot get 16. What is the slope here? And the y-intercept is 0, 3. So Tyler, how you like it?
I think it's interesting.
Okay. Interesting is an interesting word. Okay, 0, 3. I need 16. So each of my little square boxes is now going to be 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, because otherwise I don't get it. Make that a 1. So my y-intercept is 0, 3. That would be somewhere over here. 3 plus 16. No, 3 plus... Oh, I got to move over 16. I went up. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, so from this 3, I have to rise up 3 units. I'm rising up 3 units, I end up at 6, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm running 16 units over, and I end up right here. So this would be my second point. Add the 2y.
And then you can subtract each 6x. After
6x, I wouldn't have gone there. Which way would I have want to go?
Minus the 6.
I'm going to say minus a 6. Minus 6, so I get 6x minus 6 equals negative 2y. And then you divide everything by negative 2. So now I'm just going to write the y first. Y equals negative 3x. Why do I have 2 x's here? People. This should be just a 6. 6x minus 6. And that is a plus 3. Here you go. So what's the slope for the second line? Negative 3. Now if we compare the two slopes, the first line was negative 3, the second line is negative 3. What are they? Oh, I already circled it there. Yeah, the lines are parallel. So with this type of problem, we have to solve for y first. With the other type, we have to find the slope. Either which way, you have to look at the slope.
Just a question, right? In test, do we always have to write y equals mx plus b before we do the...
No, I just wrote that so
Just in case.
students know what I'm doing. Yeah, no, you do not always have to write that first. What time is it?
48.
Yeah, I see it. Okay, let's look at a few problems and find the equation of lines. And then we do something else. I don't know why that is there, but I'm sure there's a reason. Oh, how about these two lines? Oh, I like that one. X equals 5, y equals 5. Are the lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither? They are indeed perpendicular. X equals 5 is a vertical line, y equals 5 is a horizontal line, so they are perpendicular. Yes. Sometimes it's good to just draw a picture. Okay, now let's find the equation of a line. And again, I'm writing it down for you as a reminder what we're looking for. We're looking for y equals mx plus b. On page 126, it's starting. There's about 40 of those problems. That problem is not in the book, but that doesn't really matter. M equals 5, and we have the point 0, 2. How would you find the equation of the line? Well, m's given, right? What else is given? And the b. So, did you want to give me the equation of the line?
5x plus 2
You got it. Y equals 5x plus 2. Again, there's no math to be done here. But, what do you have to do again? You have to know what you're looking at. This is a y-intercept and a slope. M is 5 and B is 2. If you don't recognize that, and it doesn't matter if it's the y-intercept or any other point, you can still get to the equation of the line. If you don't recognize that, all you really do here is plug it in. If you have a slope and a point, now it doesn't matter which point that is. There's a new formula coming to town. What is that formula? It's called point-slope formula. And the point-slope formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. That is called the point-slope formula. And just like the word says, when do you use it? When you have a point given and the slope. So we got this. We got this going for us, so we can use the formula now. Now the 1, 4 is one of the points on our line, so that's why we're gonna plug that point in here. So x1 and y1. The y and the x without any little tiny number there is what we need for our formula. So let me show you. We plug it in. Y minus, what is y1? In this case, I said it is 4 equals, what is m? 3. X stays x, minus, what is x1? 1. So this is what we got. We plugged in the slope and we plugged in the formula. Now we're going to go ahead and distribute the 3x minus 3. What do we need to get to? We need to get to y equals mx plus b. We're almost there. How do we get to that? Add the 4 to both sides. And you can now combine like terms. Y equals 3x plus 1. And there is your equation of the line.
So when I asked us just to find the point slope formula, like that's exactly what we're doing that problem to get to that.
Well, what it's asking you, and you can look on page 126, it says for problems 45 to 74, and there's a ton of them. It says write the equation of the line with the satisfying conditions. Write your answer in slope-intercept form. We're not going to do standard form. Standard form would be if the ax plus by equals c. If both of them are on the same side. No worries. We're going to do this form. But to get to this form, and that's not what the book tells you, that's something you have to know. To get to down here, we have to use this formula first. Let's do one more and then we're going to do something else. we have m equals 4, and we have -1, -6, and that is actually number 50 in the book. Find the equation of a line. So on Monday, we're going to continue at almost 2.5, then on Wednesday. It looks like we may not have the test on Friday. It looks like we have it next Monday. I mean Monday in a week. Because that's what it's scheduled for anyway. So, guess we're going to take a little bit more time on this. 2.4 doesn't take long. We'll see, I'll let you know. So find the equation of the line. If you get it right, you get absolutely nothing. Exactly. Sign situation here. You gotta be careful. Do I have an equation of a line? What?
Y equals 4x plus
4x plus 2?
2, 10.
10? What do you have? Y equals 4x minus 2. Well, we're all agreeing on the 4, which we need to because I told you the slope is 4. So that's a good thing. Do I hear anything else? I have no idea what the answer is. Any other equation? Don't be shy because these two had different answers. So
I got the 4x minus 2.
oh, okay. 4x minus 2. We're narrowing in. Okay. Let's find out. I don't know. You always look at me like I know the answer. I haven't done the problem. Y minus -6, be careful about the sign, equals 4 x minus a -1. So y plus 6 is 4 times x plus 1, first of all. Y plus 6 equals 4x plus 4. Subtract 6. And y equals 4x minus 2. So you have a sign mistake somewhere. You added the 6 and the 4. Here you go. Beautiful. There it is. Okay, let's stop here and let's get our... If you have a phone on you...